What if I told you that the number your doctor checks every single visit, the number you've probably been told is fine your entire life, might actually be slowly destroying your heart? Right now? Not next year. Not in 10 years. Right now. This very moment. And I can promise you 110% that by the end of this video, you will walk away with information that most people spend their entire lives never knowing. Information that could genuinely save your life or the life of someone you love. So please, don't skip, don't scroll, stay with me till the very end, because what's coming in the next few minutes, you cannot afford to miss. I'm Dr. Danzy, and welcome to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, the channel where every single week, without fail, one powerful video comes to you. One video, made specifically for you, for your health, for your heart, for your life after 60. And listen, I want you to do something right now. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell, because I show up every week for you, and I would hate for you to miss what's coming next. Honestly, I may not be able to reach you again. The algorithm doesn't always show my videos to everyone. So subscribe now so I can keep showing up in your feed, because your health cannot wait on the algorithm. Today, we are talking about blood pressure. Specifically, what is a normal blood pressure range really? Because I promise you, the answer is not as simple as you've been told. And somewhere in that gap between what you've been told and what's actually true, people are dying quietly every single day. Now, before I go further, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below right now. Tell me, what is your blood pressure reading? Are you on medication? Have you been feeling dizzy, tired, or getting headaches? Tell me your situation. Tell me what's going on with your body, because I read these comments. I look at what you're going through, and I will tell you exactly where the problem might be. You are not alone in this, and you deserve a real answer, not just a general one. Now let me share something with you that I think about often. A 72-year-old woman, one of my patients, came to see me. A retired school teacher, sharp, active, took her health seriously. She walked 2 miles every morning. She watched what she ate. She went to her checkups regularly. By every measure, she was doing everything right. But for 3 years, 3 full years, her blood pressure had been reading around 138/88, and every single time she was told the same thing. It's a little elevated, but nothing to worry about. Keep an eye on it. So she did. She kept an eye on it. She didn't panic. She trusted the system. Then one Tuesday morning, while she was getting ready for her daily walk, she felt a strange pressure in her chest. By the time the ambulance arrived, she had suffered a significant cardiac event. She survived, but just barely. And when I sat with her afterward, she looked at me with this expression I will never forget. She said, "Dr. Danzy, nobody ever told me I was in danger. I still carry that moment with me, every single day. That is why I created Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips. Because there are millions of people out there, just like her, going about their lives, trusting that someone would tell them if something was wrong. And nobody did. Well, I'm telling you now, please listen, because the truth about blood pressure is complicated, and complicated truths, when simplified too much, become dangerous half-truths, and dangerous half-truths, they cost people their lives. So let's talk about the real science, simply, clearly, the way it should have been explained years ago. Your blood pressure reading has 2 numbers. The top number, called systolic, measures the pressure in your arteries when your heart beats. The bottom number, called diastolic, measures the pressure when your heart is resting between beats. When doctors write it down, it looks like this: 120/80. For decades, and I mean decades, the medical community defined normal blood pressure as anything below 140/90. That was the gold standard. That's what was printed in textbooks. That's what millions of doctors told millions of patients for generations. But here's where it gets shocking, and this is the part most people have never been told. In 2017, major cardiology guidelines were completely updated, and those updates revealed something that should have made front-page news everywhere. They changed the definition of high blood pressure, what doctors call hypertension, from 140 over 90 down to 130 over 80. Let that sink in for a moment. That means if you're sitting at 135 over 85, thinking you're perfectly fine because you're under 140, according to updated medical science, you are already in stage 1 hypertension. You are already at elevated risk. Your heart is already working harder than it should. And depending on how long you've been there, the damage may have already quietly begun. A study of over 2,000 adults over the age of 65 found that those maintaining systolic blood pressure between 130 and 139 were nearly 40% more likely to experience a cardiovascular event within 5 years, compared to those consistently below 120, nearly 40%, and most of those people had no symptoms, no warning signs, no alarm going off. That's the terrifying reality of blood pressure. It's called the silent killer for a reason. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't announce itself, it just works, quietly, steadily, against you. So what is actually normal? Here's the breakdown every senior needs to know. Below 120 over 80 is optimal. This is where you want to be. Between 120 and 129 systolic, with diastolic below 80 is elevated, a warning zone. Between 130 and 139 over 80 to 89 is stage 1 hypertension. 140 over 90 or higher is stage 2 hypertension. And anything above 180 over 120 is a hypertensive crisis, a medical emergency requiring immediate attention. Now here's something most people completely misunderstand, one of the most dangerous mistakes I see seniors make. Over and over again, they get one good reading. One morning, they check their pressure and it says 118 over 76, and they breathe a sigh of relief. They think, I'm fine, everything is okay, but blood pressure is not a static number. It is a living, fluctuating measurement that changes based on stress, sleep, food, activity, posture, even the time of day. One good reading doesn't mean your average is good, and your average is what your heart actually lives with. This is called blood pressure variability. And research shows that seniors with high variability, numbers that swing up and down significantly, face a substantially higher risk of stroke and heart attack, even if their average looks acceptable. And this brings me to a myth so common, so deeply embedded, that I hear it almost every single week. The myth is this: if I feel fine, my blood pressure must be fine. Please hear me clearly. That belief is one of the most dangerous things a senior can carry, because high blood pressure, in the vast majority of cases, produces zero symptoms. No headache, no dizziness, no chest pain, nothing. One of my patients, a 68-year-old man, retired engineer, told me he hadn't checked his blood pressure in 2 years because, as he said, I feel great, Dr. Danzy, better than I did at 50. When we checked it that day, it was 162 over 97. He had felt great for 2 years, while his heart was under silent, relentless attack. Please take care of yourself. I mean that sincerely. You matter, not just to your family, not just to the people who love you, but you matter to me too. Every person who watches Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips is someone I genuinely care about, and I don't want you to be the person who finds out too late. Check your numbers. Know your baseline, and never assume silence means safety. Because in part 2, I am going to reveal the 5 most dangerous mistakes that seniors make which secretly push blood pressure into crisis territory, and most of them have absolutely nothing to do with salt. Plus, I'll share what a study of 1,800 seniors discovered about the single most overlooked trigger of blood pressure spikes in people over 65. You will not see this coming. Subscribe to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips right now. Drop your blood pressure numbers in the comments. Tell me what you're feeling. I will respond. I will help. One video, every week, just for you.